Alrighty, thank you all for taking some time to join us today. We're going to go ahead and dive in. So just as an additional thank you for your time, have the option to choose between a thank you Tumblr or Amazon gift card. In order to qualify for it, you will need to complete a short webinar survey that we will be sending out after this survey. Attend our webinar from wall to wall, from start to finish, and just provide us with a valid work email and shipping address so that we can get that shipped out to you. Shipping only can go to US, UK, or Canada and would just be one per person. And be patient with us on getting those tumblers out. I think we sent out like 80,000 so far, so they're very, very popular. It'll take a couple weeks to get to your door. So on our agenda today, I'm going to introduce you to Ramin. He is one of my good friends and colleagues over at IT Management. He's going to be kind of kicking it off, talking to you a little bit more about their business and his role there. And then we'll pivot and start talking a little bit more about Verkada and really how we're helping essential and non-essential businesses with their COVID-19 strategy, whether that is through remote monitoring or crowd notifications in their physical sites. We'll kind of dive into what some other customers are doing, and we'll spend a bulk of that time within the product demo so that you guys can take a look at what the platform looks like, and then we'll wrap it up with a Q&A. So Ramin, I'll hand it over to you to give us a little bit of an overview on IT management.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining our webinar today. Thanks for the introduction, Tori. I am Ramin Movahedi, the Vice President of Advanced Technology at IT Management. A very brief introduction to those of you who may not have worked with us or know about us, and maybe an update to those who've done work with us. We are a solution provider, a technology solution provider who doesn't do everything, but we believe what we do it really well, whether it's infrastructure cabling or video surveillance and other sorts of advanced technology projects. So that's what we do. Next slide, please. So as far as our credentials and licenses and where we are and who we are headquartered in Santa Clara, California. Our engineering offices are in San Jose. Our reach spans from Southern California all the way to the southern border of Oregon, with offices in, again, San Jose and Santa Clara, as well as Redding, Sacramento, Monterey Peninsula, and Tarzana in Southern California. We take pride in being a vendor agnostic solution provider. We don't have special relationships with anyone, but obviously our goal and objective is to best serve the needs of our clients. And for that reason, we always tend to gravitate toward the cream of the crop. In terms of networking and other sort of services, there are some of the best companies that we work with, and the relationship with Verkada has, for that same reason that I stated, has developed greatly. We think it's a great product, and we are happy that you are going to be introduced or learn more about the solution that they have. In terms of our company's capabilities, you can see on the screen, we have some of the most advanced technological certifications in various areas. We've been serving our customers for more than 10 years, and our clients consist of educational institutions, small state and local government, nonprofits. We serve enterprise companies, SMB organizations, and we work very closely with partners who have offer services that are complementary to us. As an example, other solution providers who may benefit from our technological know-how, as well as construction companies and anyone who basically could benefit from an expert in our area of expertise. Next slide, please. So you may have heard about us under various names. We offer a variety of specialty services. Among other things, we are actually a competitive local exchange, or CLEC telephony carrier. One-on-one voice is a service that we provide that brings hosted, managed cloud telephony to various organizations. We're very popular at schools and also government entities and SMB businesses. So that's one-on-one voice, very near to my heart. Polytons, you may know about. Polytons is a DevOps automation product that is proprietary to us. It's helped us expedite deployment of projects and do some really interesting work very efficiently for large organizations with complicated and complex networking environments. Thermal scan is a new product that we released, or a service that we released because of COVID-19. We have brought various very effective monitoring services for, again, large venues, whether it's a school or shopping center, hospitals, any place that needs small or large handheld or stationary solutions. That's the thermal scan solution that we have, and I'd love to talk to you more about it if there's any interest in that area. And Galaxy Wi-Fi is a hosted Wi-Fi and private LTE environment that we have that allows us to very effectively deploy any size Wi-Fi or private LTE now solutions in various environments. For those of you who are part of a government organization, we have a comprehensive and effective procurement contract portfolio that allows you to make your purchases through a variety of vehicles that we have, whether it's GSA or CMAS, USCTPA, NASPO, etc. So we are a very desirable source for procurement, and that does include Verkada products. Last one, please. One before last. So we take pride in the services we have done. We take our job very seriously. The company is not out there to move boxes and sell you a few things. You know, we hope that by getting to know us, you'll recognize that we are fanatical about the quality of the service that we provide, and our peers in our industry have graciously recognized us for what we have been able to achieve. Different organizations have given us a variety of awards for our telephony services, for our modular data center deployments that we have done. The company generally has very positive image, which deservedly belongs to it. You know, we are one of the best places to work at. We are one of the fastest growing companies in the United States, recognized by Inc. 5000. One of our top executives of the company was named just this year Woman of the Channel, very influential. So, and the CRN magazine has recognized us as a fast growth 150 company. So we work very hard. Your satisfaction if you decide to work with IT Management Corporation is paramount to us, and we feel like we have been able to meet that goal. And finally, last style, our vision about what we do every day and why we do what we do every day is that IT runs the world. Everyone needs technology, everyone is using technology, and our goal is to help you plan, deploy, and manage your IT projects. I hope that you would benefit from the beautiful presentation that awaits you. Verkada has done a great job with what they've created, and my goal is to stay in touch and hopefully hear back from you at the end of this presentation or shortly after, so we can discuss your specific needs and how we can help you. Thanks very much.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ramin. So as mentioned, what we really want to touch on today is how different businesses are handling this COVID preparation and kind of response strategy for your specific facilities. So we've got a wide range of individuals on the phone and customers in our base that are using cameras in such different ways during this very unprecedented and kind of crazy time, whether you are trying to monitor something that might be empty, a building that you need to get surveillance on or eyes on without having a security guard on site. Or additionally, if you're a health center and maybe have some additional locations, some random satellite offices that you're rolling out that you weren't planning on before and you need additional surveillance, there's going to be some different ways that Verkada can help as far as monitoring these new sites or even old ones. So just a little bit about Verkada. We are the fastest growing video security company in the world, based here in San Mateo, California, but have deployments worldwide. Some of our notable investors listed below: Meritech, Sequoia, Siemens. And we just received our latest round of funding, which brings our valuation to $1.6 billion. So really helping us transform the way that security is done, and really excited to show you some differences in the old system architecture and what we're coming out with here at Verkada. A little bit about our founding team. Our founding team is a group of computer scientists from Stanford and MIT, including Hans Robertson, who founded Meraki and sold it to Cisco for $1.2 billion back in 2012. So have a seasoned individual on our team who's familiar with the networking space, has been in this arena and knows what he's doing. So we're happy to be, led by him and excited to see where this takes us. But their founding team, their goal is to create a modern enterprise video security system. And after creating that and doing so pretty successfully, we've started to roll out into other areas of your building security. So our vision is to eventually be the platform that you choose when you're thinking about all things video security, whether that is the access control for you badging in and out of doors, your lighting, your HVAC, all of that being tied up to Verkada. So hopefully using some of those funding rounds that we've received to start moving in that direction. Speaking of the old system architecture, this might look familiar to a few of you on the line who currently have an NVR, DVR, VMS server storage software set up right now. Having cameras wired into your switch and then into your NVR with the only ability to view this footage from a local PC on site. If you do want to check this footage out remotely, you end up poking a hole in your firewall, opening ports, really subjecting yourself to additional cybersecurity risks. Additionally, want to note Gartner, Forrester, and Symantec, all leading researchers, listed the NVR as the most dangerous piece of equipment that you can own due to a few things. First, it is a single point of failure for all of your cameras. So if that NVR goes down, if it gets stolen, broken, anything of the sort, you're pretty much out of luck. And second, from a management perspective, you have a lot of maintenance that you need to do. This is a lot to look at as far as keeping up with and maintaining different things that you're working on. So we wanted to simplify this process and allow you to really monitor these cameras remotely. So when we hop into the demo, you'll see that I'm working from my home in San Francisco right now, but I have access to our Verkada cameras from across the globe. So we'll talk a little bit more about that remote monitoring for sure. And access control is going to look kind of similar. There's a lot going on. This actually is a picture from our Verkada HQ, our access control system before we rolled out our own Verkada system. And this just looks like a mess to maintain. Quite a lot of maintenance here. So same situation, wanted to simplify this and now have the first native integration between the cameras and the access control when it comes to Verkada security. So when we're thinking about what Verkada is going to look like in, comparison to those slides that we just saw, you are solely looking at the camera itself with the ability to store 30, 60, 90, 120, or 365 days of footage on board the camera itself. The camera is then sending small packets of information up to the cloud, and then you are able to pull that pull that footage down and monitor it from your devices. So whether it's using our mobile app or doing it from your laptop at home, able to view this footage from anywhere. So all you need is a Cat5 or Cat6 cable to plug into that camera and into a switch, eliminating the need for any sort of NVR, DVR, extra server storage, anything of the sort. Here is a list of a couple of our current customers. Similar to IT management and Ramin, we are industry agnostic in who we work with. We work with schools, financial institutions, security companies, really across the board, and any of them will be happy to chat with you about their experience with Verkada as far as rolling out, whether it's an SMB company with one camera or United Health Group with thousands. Happy to talk to you about what those deployments would look like. So before we hop into the platform, you can go ahead and text your work email address to 888-343-7537 in order to get a live link we have the unique ability here at Verkada to share out live links of our cameras. So in the case of an emergency and you need to share out a link with a first responder or with a member of your maintenance staff, you will have the ability to also share out live links of your cameras at your site. So this is a really great opportunity for you to take a look at what the cameras look like and see that camera quality. Of course, I'm showing you kind of a video of a video. You're taking a look at my Zoom screen, seeing my Zoom screen of my, my homepage here. So this is a chance for you guys to, kind of see that up close. So again, you can text your work email address to this number on the screen, and I'll have Kenzie put that in the chat as well. So without further ado, I'm going to hop into our Verkada platform here. Here we are taking a look at a Google integrated map. So as I mentioned, I'm able to take a look at all of our Verkada cameras across the world. We've got the majority of them here in California, but we do have an office over in the UK, as well as a rep down in Australia. This makes it really simple to have a centralized managed place for you to go in and toggle in to see what's going on in all of your sites. So for purposes of today's demo, I'm going to dive into our headquarters in San Mateo. So we're like Fort Knox here. We've got about 80 cameras lit up in our 3-story building in downtown San Mateo. We've got just about every camera model you can imagine inside and outside here at our HQ. So you'll see all of these 80 cameras are lit up in green. That means they are online, they are actively recording, they are healthy and working as they should. If any of the cameras light up in yellow, a couple of things may have happened. One, you could have pulled that camera offline for whatever reason. Maybe you're, working on something with the camera and decided to turn it off. Two is the camera has a built-in accelerometer, which means if someone's tampering with it or trying to occlude the vision in any way, whether it's spray painting it, taking a baseball hat to it, or baseball bat to it, or covering it with a cap, you're going to get a notification via SMS, text message, or email letting you know that that camera has gone offline or that the camera is no longer seeing the vision that it should. So really, really great for you. Instead of, going out to check on your cameras and you find out it's been down for a couple of weeks, you're able to know in real time. So I can click into any of the cameras from here, but I'm going to show you one additional view, and that's going to be our floor plan. So if I toggle into the Verkada HQ, this is our first floor. You can see all of these green dots. This is where all of the cameras are. And you also can see this motion plotting. So this is where we can see individuals. Someone might be walking around in the hallway right now. From a COVID perspective, we've rolled out a couple of new features. One that I think is pretty cool and important is our people heat map. So this is going to show historical data of where individuals are spending the most time. So for us, this is our reception desk, the elevator bank, one of these conference rooms. So it sounds like people are congregating here. Maybe we want to take a look at that footage, make sure crowds aren't congregating, and making sure our cleaning staff can take some extra care and time to get these areas cleaned up. So we can, break this down into different intervals. If we want to see, what happened over the course of a day, or, different hour chunks, we're able to see that historical footage there. I'll hop into one of our cameras. This is outside our front door in San Mateo. Looks like we've got a couple reps walking around, but this is a live stream of what's going on outside. And a few great things about what we can do with Verkada's searching is, gone are the days where you're fast forwarding and rewinding through some footage that was on your NVR or DVR. We can actually go down and simply choose a day and time. And we can even break these clips down into more digestible clips. So if I know that an incident took place between 7 and 8 a.m., I can break this down into hour-long chunks and come here and take a look at that 7 to 8 a.m. to see what happened, and just scrub my mouse back and forth to see if I can, quickly navigate to what may have happened. Additionally, we have this heat maps feature. Heat map is, detecting some activity. So looks like not a lot's going on outside. Not many people are going into the office, but here we have a few areas where we are seeing activity outside of the front door. So I can take a closer look at this. I'm going to draw a motion grid outside of our front door and filter by people. Our cameras are going to pull footage of any time it saw a person walking in through the front door. So here looks like I've got a clip about 6:30 a.m. Someone's walking in with a mask, might be showing up to work. One of our reps here have the ability to pause on this, can save this clip into my archive, maybe I want to zoom in and, try to get a closer look at who it may be. But seems like I'm not really getting that great of an image. Can't really tell who that is because of their mask. The door is kind of in front of their face. I have the ability to do multi-camera playback as well. So this is going to give me a second range of, a picture of what's happening on the clip. So once it loads up, we'll be able to see this it'll sync together so that we can see, this individual walking in from multiple different angles. If I click play. So just a different way for us to kind of take a look at what's going on with the clips and what might be playing back. One additional thing that I want to touch on when it comes to people are our people analytics. So this could be important if in the case that someone that you're working with is diagnosed with COVID, we want to figure out if they have come into contact with other people, figuring out, exactly maybe what happened. I know we definitely do that at our Verkada office as well. We have some teams that rotate in and out and socially distance within the office. So, we want to obviously keep our employees safe and make sure that, nothing like that is happening. So I can pull up my people analytics. We can go through and see anytime someone has been caught on camera, but I also can upload a picture of an individual in particular. So I'm going to upload a picture of our founder, Hans. And here it's going to search through our cameras and we'll see anytime that Hans was caught on camera. So here, as it starts to queue him up, looks like he hasn't been in the office since Friday. He might be taking a long weekend, but here I can see every time Hans has been caught on camera. So in the case that, he does get diagnosed with COVID, looks like he's standing in close proximity to this other individual. Maybe we want to notify them, but looks like he's wearing his mask, the majority of the time that he's in our office. We also have the same search capabilities when it comes to vehicles as well. So being able to break it down by person, we can also break it down by looking at vehicles. So in the event that you have an incident at one of your sites, I know a lot of our customers have parking garages, parking lots, and their crimes have really been going up when it comes to like vandalism and things of that nature. I've talked to quite a few of my customers and prospects in the past few weeks that have had some carjacking as of late. We can go up and pull up vehicles. Maybe we know that something happened to a red Tesla and we want to pull all of the footage of when that car was caught on camera. We can pull that up here and it will our cameras are smart with their AI and is able to pull all of the footage where it saw what I'm searching. Final thing that we can do when it comes to kind of the analytics around people and vehicles is we have the ability to set up person of interest notifications. So this is really important in the case of perhaps, an ex-employee coming back on site, or if an expelled student is trying to get back on school's campus. We can actually manage our notifications here, and we can create a new person of interest notification. We can upload their picture here, and we can get notified anytime they are seen on the premises. So I will toggle out of here, and along the lines of notifications for you guys, it's really important right now that we are being notified if someone's trying to get in the building, maybe when they shouldn't, or perhaps being notified when there are large crowds. So I'm going to toggle into our kitchen here. Looks like someone's getting a late lunch. That's Ryan Betancourt. He heads up our sales team here. So looks like he's snacking a little late at 3 o'clock. But I'll go into our settings on the camera, and each camera you have the ability to create specific notification settings so that you can be notified by what's going on. So in the case that you maybe have a safe or you want to know if someone's getting in the front door, you are able to set specific time windows, and you will be notified again by that SMS, text message, or email notification if someone comes into this field of motion between specific times that you set. For retail, great for after hours, same with schools, can select specific windows here. And then crowd notifications in the event of COVID. So looks like ours are set when more than 5 or people and more than 4 vehicles are detected within the range of the camera. We can make this go all the way up to 10, but going to be good for a crowd notification standpoint as far as knowing how many people are hanging out in a specific area. Last thing I will touch on here as far as, the cameras and what we can do with the footage is our archive. So you can think of your archive just as a digital library where you can save an unlimited amount of footage. So if you have specific incidents that are happening at your business, we want to save that and take a look back at it at a later time. Looks like we have some here, possible intruders. We've got some things for, demo purposes. Here's one of our fisheyes over a construction job event. So you can save as much as you would like here. And I can always come in and play this back. But something that's really unique to Verkada, as any of you who have downloaded that live link might be able to see, is you can, of course, download this footage into a traditional MP4 format and then, email it out to whomever it needs to go to. But we also have the ability to share a live link. So I can share it via text, email, or embed a live link and give complete control to, my company in how long I'm going to share this footage with whomever it may be, whether it's a first responder, whether it's, a member of my tech team. I have control to determine that, I only want to give this person access to this footage for an hour or a day or perhaps a custom time frame so that footage isn't falling into the wrong hands. This is going to be great for first responders if you do have an intruder or they're not exactly sure where the intruder is. Again, gone are the days where someone's blindly walking into a building and doesn't know where something might be going on and putting themselves really in danger. So this is going to be great for your first responders, for anyone that's might be working in security on your sites, just to know exactly what's going on and be able to watch that live footage straight from a link. Finally, I want to touch on users and groups. So just like any sort of, tech device or tech application that you might have, you're going to be able to have the ability to give specific permissions to specific members of your team. So, here at Verkada, I have demo abilities, but, our IT manager, he has the abilities to do really everything within all of our cameras. He can update all of those settings and save them just as a typical organization admin of an application would. So you can create specific groups. This can sync up with Active Directory if you have a specific directory for your employees that you're currently using, but ability to do either or here just to make it a little bit easier for your team to have specific permissions. Perfect. So that about does it when it comes to a camera perspective and really kind of giving you an overview of Verkada. So I want to open it up to Q&A. Kenzie, I think, has been monitoring our chat, so would love to hear any questions and kind of go over anything else that anyone is curious about.
Thanks so much, Tori. Looks like we have a question. How many days of storage do the cameras have?
Yes, so we have an option for 30, 60, 90, 120, or 365 days of storage held on board the camera. Really, most companies will go with 30, but there are specific industries that will require perhaps 90 days of retention on the camera itself. So it's really going to depend on your company's requirements. We'll have multiple options for you.
Awesome, thank you. We have another question. What's the typical bandwidth usage on the cameras?
Yes, bandwidth is really about the same as, you can think of it as sending 1 Gmail per second. Really low bandwidth. It's about 5 to 20 kilobits per second.
Great. We have a question. What happens if a camera is stolen?
Would love some clarity around that. Are you curious about maybe what happens to the footage, or can talk about a couple different things as far as that's concerned?
Maybe we can kind of give it
general overview. Yeah. So first and foremost, if a camera is stolen or if it's broken or anything happens to it, want to let you all know that we do have a 10-year product warranty. So we would drop ship you a new one overnight. When it comes to the storage and what's going to happen, of course, if your camera is taken off the wall, obviously not going to continue recording, but with the built-in accelerometer, it's going to start automatically backing everything up to the cloud as it notices that event is taking place. So I have a video that I can share with you all of basically an intruder, a theft trying to take a camera off of one of our customers' walls, and the entire thing is caught on footage. So it'll start backing everything up so that you can come in here and still see, your historical footage, but you wouldn't be able to, of course, search and keep continuing recording new footage. So we'd only be able to go and take a look back at what had already been added. Does that make sense?
I think it does.
Okay.
So we have another question. What is the warranty on the cameras?
It is 10 years. So really about 6 to 7 years better than everything else that's on the market right now. And we would drop ship you a new one overnight if anything happens.
Does the camera have any thermal capabilities?
As far as, like taking temperature or just from a heat mapping perspective?
Not seeing the clarification.
Maybe, Tori, if I may jump in, this is Ramin.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the Verkada cameras don't have thermal sensors that could be used to measure temperature. There are complementary products that we have used, which I mentioned briefly in our thermal scan, presentation. So if you are looking to have devices that would help you determine if someone is running a high temperature, whether it's a handheld solution for a small environment or large venues, that would be a complementary solution. And that is what we have successfully deployed in various circumstances. We can talk about that independently.
Perfect. Thanks, Ramin.
Sure.
And we did get a clarification. The person was asking in regards to COVID, so the body temperature.
Yep. So I think what Ramin said, we can always follow up after that, but I think his solution would, work well in tandem.
And we have another question. Have you made any changes in relation to the current COVID pandemic?
As far as, kind of updating our platform, we have done a couple of things. So first and foremost is going to be that crowd notification. That was actually a request from one of our current customers who wanted to know if there was gatherings within one of their small stores. They just wanted to be notified to make sure that there wasn't more than, 10 people inside. So we added that in addition. And then really something else that I think is great that's continuing to be improved upon with Verkada is just motion notifications in general. So if your building is closed for COVID, or if you don't want individuals congregating in a specific area, for us, our conference rooms are closed. So people might be in the office, but we don't want people congregating in conference rooms or having groups meet. We can always turn on motion notifications for those specific areas so that you are notified if, again, there's more than a specific amount of people in a specific room.
Cool. I'm not seeing, oh, we have another question. How is the solution priced, and is the total cost of solution higher than a conventional old-fashioned camera system?
Yeah, great question. So Verkada has 2 line items. It will be the camera itself, that hardware. We have a few different camera models for you. Here we're looking at a fisheye, but we also have just a typical dome camera in a bullet series as well. So you will have the hardware itself, and then a second line item for your cloud license. So this is going to be a fee that you would pay on a yearly basis. It's on a per camera basis, and essentially is giving you access to this platform. So everything that you see here, all of the analytics, automatic firmware updates, that's all built into the price that you're paying for that cloud license. So from a total cost of ownership perspective, we have found that over a 10-year period, considering the warranty of the cameras, you end up paying a lot less with Verkada if you're looking at, an ownership period between now and 2030, because you're not having to do any sort of maintenance. You don't need to call someone to come out there and automatically, and do those updates for you. Everything will be happening automatically. So basically, once you pay for it upfront, you're done, and then don't have any sort of ongoing upgrade costs over the course of those 10 years.
Does the system integrate with your door access?
It does, yes. So access control came out, gosh, about 2 months ago. Happy to dive into this deeper if anyone is interested in seeing kind of a one-on-one demo of the access control. I can give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. But here we can take a look at, I'll pull up, my manager is Allie Spidler. And if I type in her name, here I can look at, times that Allie was walking in. Looks like she got in around 7. And the camera's playing back, exactly showing up her badge picture here. Have the ability to kind of lock and unlock doors remotely, another great feature for us in this new world that we're living in. So you don't have to send someone out to do it. You can just open and lock and unlock things from here. And then you're going to have the same capabilities with your users to give them certain access. So it looks like Dom has full access, Paul has full access, but some of these other individuals don't have access to every single, room in our building.
Oh, we have another question. If facial recognition is not allowed, would we not be able to use some of the features? Do you actually do facial recognition?
Good question. So it's technically facial analytics. So depending on, and I'm happy to talk with you on the phone a little bit after this with our engineers, so we can talk more about your specific requirements and basically what is and isn't allowed from like a legality standpoint in your office space or building that you're in. But technically it's going to be facial analytics, not specifically recognition. So again, actually, all of these cameras can come with any of these features turned on or off. So if you're more comfortable turning something like that off, we have the ability to do that. But in almost every case, you should be able to still use it.
Can people's faces be covered?
Yes, good question. So some of our schools do this and actually will blur out faces to keep the, incognity of their students. So absolutely can, if you wanted to share out footage with first responders or like I mentioned with another member of your team, you are able to do that. And our solutions engineer can turn on the ability for you all to blur out faces. All right. If anything else comes up, of course, you can reach out to us. But I wanted to wrap up with a couple more pieces of information. So Verkada does do free trials. We believe that the best way for you to get this tested and see the camera's full functionality is to test it in your own environment. I've even had some individuals and some current customers now do some trials in their homes. So really anywhere that's going to be convenient for you to test out the camera and the functionality, we're happy to ship it to you. We pay for shipping both ways. So if you want to go ahead and email sled@itmanagement.com, we can discuss a little bit more about different camera models, what might make sense for you guys. Free trials are typically 30 days. Can always extend that if we end up needing more time to, test things out, but happy to talk with you a little bit more about that. And then if other additional questions come up, we'll use that same address, sled@itmanagement.com. That'll route over to Ramin and his team. And then I can get involved from there to help talk you guys through any sort of technicalities as it comes to Verkada. Thank you guys all so much for your time and looking forward to connecting with you soon.
I'd also like to thank everybody and look forward to being in touch.
All right. Thanks so much.